right. Hello, everybody. Let me get everybody unmuted here. Janine,
Boom.
Barry, Emily, everybody unmuted. I got a full house tonight. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, one and all. We got the chat going. How's everybody doing? Let me bring this up. Welcome, everybody, to our Halloween Horror Nights 2023 hype stream. We are in the home stretch. Team member preview going on right now. Where is the chat? There it is. Okay. So yeah, as you can tell, we got a full house tonight. Emily's here.
Hi.
Barry's here. And joining us is Janine.
Hey guys.
We got a full house. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat really quick. Michael, Rebecca, Queso Crackers. Hello, Quackers. Rebecca, hello. Janine, hi. How are you?
Hi. She just wanted to participate.
I know. Participation trophy goes to
Trophy.
Janine. Yeah, you get the participation trophy. So, Amy, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. I don't think we're gonna waste much time. Do you guys just want to go ahead and dive into it? Actually, really quick. Before we dive into the scare zones and the houses, Barry, did you want to talk about the tribute store at all?
It's cool.
It's cool.
Wow, thank you for this info.
Sorry, I think I've had 6 hours of sleep in the last 36 hours. So,
yeah, I know.
I spent 13 hours covering a hurricane. No, I really love the tribute store. It really is its own thing this year. And there is a comic for the tribute store because it is a comic book store, and you are literally walking through parts of that comic, and the scenic in this thing is just next level. I was blown away at the Boris Schuster part of it is amazing. It's just wow. It's pretty impressive.
I try to avoid spoilers, but it's inevitable.
It's
on
inevitable.
Twitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I saw a bunch of people posting pictures of the tribute store online. It looks fantastic. The Boris section looks amazing. I can't wait to get there and check it out myself.
They did an amazing job this year. And you can buy a comic. I mean, you can actually buy a comic that is based on that the store is based on. So
that's cool. Because the store is basically for comic books. You're entering a comic book store, but then you're going through 4 comic books as you progress through the tribute store.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me say really quick hi to Daniel. Appreciate your brother tuning in. Everybody else. Steve says, so hyped for this year. Dueling Dragons, Yeti Campground Kills, Vamp 69 are top of my list. Those are some good ones. Amy says Dueling Dragons. Yes. Dueling Dragons all the way.
Are we gonna show this shirt?
Yes, show your shirt, Janine, is absolutely fantastic.
No.
Janine,
very
Janine's
old
shirt,
school.
yes.
Yeah,
But the other shirt.
It's very
Yeah.
old. I remember the day that I was 52 inches tall. I think that was the height requirement. I was 52 for that, 54 for Hulk. And
54.
it was 54. Okay,
Yeah.
so and I'm a very, very short human. And so it took a while. And that day was the highlight of probably my youth.
Yeah. When was your first trip to Islands?
Oh man, I went opening year.
You went
but I
opening
was
year?
definitely not tall enough then.
Yeah. It was one of those rides where, like, the coaster. I think if it was still Dueling Dragons today, I think the coaster nerd part of me, as I've gotten older, I've been less tolerable of the. I can do roller coasters still, but I think at my age now and where I am, like, physically with riding roller coasters, I think it would be like a one and done for me. But back in the day when I was young and I was stupid, I would ride Dueling Dragons all day long. So yeah, anyways, but yeah, no, let's go ahead and bring up our list here. For those of you that watched our initial reaction announcement stream, we're pretty much going to follow the same itinerary we're going to go through. So for those of you in the chat, as we go through, we definitely want to hear what you guys think. I'm trying to keep my eyes on the comments here. We got a bunch of people watching. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pop off, fam.
Yeah. So, all right. We're going to start off in the scare zones, and I have them set up. I don't have them set up kind of in any directional order. So, as you can tell, we're going to start off in San Francisco, Shipyard 32, Horrors Unhinged. What do you guys think about this scare zone as far as it's been set up with the crates and the animal boxes and the Oddfellow truck? What do you guys think of this scare zone?
My mom told me this is the most anticipated thing on her list, so I don't know what that tells me.
Okay, mom.
Yeah.
Okay, mom. That's
I'm
valid.
all right.
Seeing the crane and just all the detail in it, like during the daytime, has definitely been a highlight. I mean,
Mhm.
that, and I know it's further on the list, but the jungle one, I'm like, it's
Oh,
it's
God, yeah.
detailed. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Like, it's
What's so cool?
I feel like it's one of the most detailed scare zones they put in San Francisco. It's the level of theming and the scenic in it is just amazing. I can't wait to see it once with all the lighting and the fog and whatever. There's definitely going to be some interesting things that happen in that scare zone. So
Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of creatures, because this is all about like creatures that Dr. Oddfellow's bringing into the port and everything. So I'll be very curious to see what kind of creatures we get in this scare zone. So, all right, moving on into New York, Vamp 69, Summer of Blood. This scare zone, they set the bar high last year with parade floats in the scare zones.
yeah.
yeah, they did.
This year it looks like, from what I saw, a few team member preview pictures, we've seen the cars parked out by the restroom back there by Louis, and so it looks like they're just gonna kind of park some cars. We got the bus out there, the music stage with bloodied up victims on it, but man, I think we were spoiled with Sweet Revenge last year.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
really hoping. I'm hoping with the lack of giant set pieces with Vamp, because like I said, I think we were spoiled because we've had scare zones in New York years past that didn't have these big parade. The parade floats were just mind blowing in Sweet Revenge. So I'm kind of riding off of that high. But I really hope the scare actors, these scare zones, no matter which one it is, always comes down to the actors. So anybody else got any thoughts on Vamp 69, Emily?
You know how I feel.
Yeah.
Janine?
You can't go wrong with vampires. I mean,
Yeah.
my friend and I were talking about today a book that she was reading that was like humans are weak, vampires rule the earth, and I'm kind of feeling that. So.
Yeah. Like I said, I hope the actors really bring this one to life because it's usually down to them.
Yeah, you've got a lot of potential, and obviously the soundtrack for this could really be a banger. And I guess a lot of things to me comes down to what are they using that stage for? Are there
That's
going
why
to
I'm
be
like,
are there going to be some setups that happen on that stage? Because to me, that was one of the big things with Vamp 85 is you had the ball drop.
You had the ball drop, yeah.
And that was the big set piece of that. So we'll
That's-
be interested to see if there's some big set pieces with the scare zone at all.
That's a good point, Barry, because when they started building the stage, I was like, oh, cool, we're going to have another big Vamp 85 moment in this scare zone. But as the days went on and they continued to build it, they started setting up the music, and now there's like victims up there and stuff. So I don't think there's going to be any sort of big. Maybe there is. We'll just have to wait and see. But usually when a big set piece has the bloodied up victims on it, I think the scare actors can go up there and pretend they're like eating it or something, and then go off stage. But as far as some like big production number, you usually don't see that on big stages with bloodied up victims and stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Vamp 69 Summer of Blood, obviously in the New York area. So we're excited to check that one out. Moving on here to Jungle of Doom, Expedition Horror. Janine, you posted you were pretty excited about this.
I'm stoked for this one. I always love scare zones in that area just because they're so dark, they're really intimate and tight.
Yep.
And I mean, there's bats.
Yep.
I have a bat tattoo. I mean, come on. I'm very excited, and they're very creepy looking. So
yeah, this was definitely the most impressive scare zone just from when they were building it, how fast they started putting things up, and then that weird shape ended up being the plane that crashed, and the parachute up in the trees. I'm really excited for this one. With all like Barry was saying, all these scare zones need the fog, the music, all those last minute things to really, the scare actors, probably the most important thing to bring this scare zone to life. Emily, Barry, any thoughts on Jungle of Doom?
I love Indiana Jones.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, I think it's definitely one of the most impressive scenics we've seen in a Central Park scare zone. It's going to be tight in there.
Yeah.
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 And it's going to be interesting to see how it all comes together. I think the interesting thing always with the scare zones is it usually takes until the second weekend for them to really gel.
I mean, everything does kind of.
Because it's rehearsals, especially on the scare zones, it's like until you get actual guests out there, it's like you can't really fully get a feel on how everything's going to work.
Yeah,
It was-
I feel like. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Jean.
This one, I feel like it's going to thrive more in the dark too. So it's going to be one of those.
Yeah.
It'll be great to see the scenic walking through it during the daytime, but then making sure that you make a loop back to go at night, because I have a feeling that because of it being so narrow and there being so many props, that it'll be tighter and better when it's at night.
Yeah. Emily says, not our Emily, but another Emily in here. This is the one I'm most
There's too many
excited
of
for.
us.
All the Emilys, they're multiplying. God help us. Jay says he got the Dueling Dragon shirt, so
Of course
awesome,
you did.
Jay. Yeah, of course you did. But yeah, no, you guys pretty much wrapped it up for Jungle of Doom Expedition Horror for me. I'm excited for this one. Janine nailed it with the, it's very close quarters. It's gonna be I'll be very curious, because years past they've really tried to push things to the edge of the scare zones, because they've learned that Central Park becomes such a bottleneck. But this year they went back to
This year they decided to kill me.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because I'm assuming the Central Park Amphitheater is going to be open for people to go through that way.
Yeah.
Since
God, I
there is
hope
no
so.
show. So there's no show this year, so.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on to Dark Zodiac in Hollywood. I only saw one picture of team member previews. They did drag out, as they always do with this scare zone, in Hollywood. They dragged out a couple more big set pieces. If we were doing a hype list, this one would probably be on my bottom.
Okay, rude.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just-
sorry, Emily.
I'm going to be a party pooper, and I'm just not into the whole Zodiac astrological thing. Like, even the merchandise, I'm just like, eh.
Okay.
So,
It's
what do
fine.
you guys? Well, Emily, what do you? Give us your thoughts.
I just think it's like
Bring
an
us-
actual like.
Bring us back up.
I mean, it's something that's like original at least, because this is my problem with Vamp. Sorry, but it's just a recycled idea, which is the only reason why I'm not like too
Sure.
incredibly hyped for it. Like, yeah, it's a different theming, but it's the same thing that we've had.
Yeah.
This brings me back to my original year that I started going, which was 21, which I discussed in the last one. But basically, with the 7 Deadly Sins scare zone, it has that same feeling for me with the Zodiac. And then just hearing like things about like the costumes and like stilt walkers and that kind of stuff, that sounds really, really cool. So I'm just excited to see what it looks like, basically, because they're based off of the animals that represent the Zodiac. So I think that's cool.
This is another fallback for me for the scare zones were so good last year.
Yeah.
Graveyard Deadly Unrest was probably one of my favorite scare zones like ever.
Same.
So this is another scare zone that I'm like, it's in the same area. So my expectations are like way up here, but
It's okay to admit that we'll never have that scare zone ever again, because it was the best one we've ever had.
I know. So
I mean, I feel like this one is really one that until I see like the execution, it's hard to really know, because it's the one that has the least amount of set pieces out during the day. So until we see it fully executed, it's hard to tell.
maybe that's
Could
kind
end
of
up being amazing. So
Yeah, and I feel like I need to do a better glimpse at the details and the symbols. I know Amy had mentioned like the blood moon symbol that was over in Shipyard. Like the symbolism with Oddfellow is everywhere, and I feel like when I was going and looking at it, I was looking at it pretty superficially. But there's probably more connections that we're not making that are just going to come through the event.
Yeah. the whole Oddfellow Zodiac thing is I think it's a lot deeper than some people think, and that's the one thing that's kind of keeping me interested in is the whole Oddfellow thing and how he's working with the astrology and the zodiac thing and all that, and it's interesting. And I also agree with Barry. I think this is a scare zone that I'm going to have to experience for myself firsthand before I lay any kind of thoughts on it. So moving on, Dr. Oddfellow's collection of horror. We pretty much worked our way back to the front of the park. Obviously this is production central, front of the park. Excuse me. They've really pushed this scare zone forward this year because of Minion Land.
Those little yellow bastards.
Yeah, those little yellow bastards. Sorry, I need to take a drink. My throat's killing me. So yeah, this scare zone, obviously they brought it really far up towards the front of the park, pretty much right
The
when
second
you walk
in.
Yes, literally.
That's going to be fun for crowd flow.
The second you walk in, they have the Halloween Horror Nights signage archway. People were posting photos of Oddfellow up there on that platform, so it'll be really cool to see him up there. And then you have Oddfellow's caravan back there in the back, which has like a stage. So I don't know if he's gonna. When I saw him up there on top of the platform, I don't know if somebody else is gonna come out on the caravan, or he's gonna alternate, or I'll be curious how that's gonna work out.
James Keaton every single night.
Yeah.
His tweets have been fantastic about how Oddfellow's like nowhere. He's not in the tribute store or anything, and I've been getting a good laugh out of his. He does it all in good fun. But yeah, he's been having a lot of fun with. He was like, what do you say about Oddfellow not being in the tribute store? And there's a Jack mask.
There's a Jack mask in the corner.
There's a Jack mask in the tribute store, so he was having all sorts of fun with that. But yeah, no. Anybody else got any thoughts on Dr. Oddfellow's collection of horrors before we move on here?
I mean, scare zones are just kind of hard though, because you really can't pass any judgment until you actually see it. It's just going off the set pieces.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of going through the scare zones kind of quick here, because I think
I'll be interested to see how the stage with the caravan is, because we know there's 5 triggers up there, so it's be interested to see what if it's just one scare actor or if there's going to be a couple of different set pieces that happen up there.
Sorry, everybody, I'm trying to keep up on the chat. Y'all are awesome in the chat tonight. This person said, not gonna lie, I thought Dark Zodiac was going to be about the Legions of Horror.
Could be, yeah.
Emily said, I'm very into the Zodiac, interested to see how they play this up. Johnny's in the house. What's up, Johnny? Appreciate your brother. I'm guessing that's you, unless somebody else is on the haunt scene.
Hello.
I know you got your whole crew, but I'm guessing that's Johnny. So appreciate you. Tyler says, I just watched a live stream of someone walking through it. Told myself I would stay away from spoilers. Yeah, it's kind of hard.
No spoilers, man.
Yeah, I had to turn Twitter down because I saw a video.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Just be like me. Don't use your social media anymore.
Steve says, Oddfellow hype. I've been waiting my whole HHN history to get to know him better. Yeah, that's the great thing this year. Like, they're really diving into Oddfellow this year, kind of giving him a much better backstory. But is he an icon? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Controversial debate time.
According to Michael Aiello.
Yeah. Aiello, the boss man spoke. Aiello spoke.
I'm gonna wait for it at the media night. Some idiot's gonna ask Laura Sauls if Oddfellow's an icon. You know it's coming.
You know it'll happen.
Be that idiot, Barry.
Yeah. No.
All right. I think we're done. We're moving on to houses. First up is the Universal Monsters Unmasked. This house will be in the old parade building. If I am correct.
Yes.
Who let me ask you guys this. Which one of these characters are you guys most excited for?
Phantom.
Hunchback.
Barry? Johnny said Visible
Man.
I
want to see how I want to see how they pull off Invisible Man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wonder if it'll be like it was in 2019 Universal Monsters. How they played him up.
Yeah. Johnny says Visible Man.
I mean, I love the idea this is in the catacombs and Since they brought the monsters back, each house has been excellent. So it's I've said it before. I think we've all said it before. We love that we get original stories.
Yeah,
For each one of these houses. So
yeah, they've delivered with each since they've been on this roll with monster houses every year. It hasn't disappointed yet. So I'm
Gonna
very
walk in with a beret and a baguette and feel at home.
We-
So we.
Let me see what's going on. Amy says Phantom and the Invisible Man. Yeah. Alex says which food item? Which one food item?
we'll
Alex,
get to that.
We're gonna, if we have time later, we're gonna chat about some of the food. So stay tuned. But yeah, no, I'm excited for the house. You know, the catacomb settings. There's so much you could do with that for just the word catacombs. That's all you got to say.
Everywhere.
Yeah, skulls. And catacombs are just creepy in and of themselves, and then you add in all of these guys, and it's setting up to what I'm hoping is going to be an absolutely fantastic house. So, all right, moving on to The Exorcist Believer. This house, a lot of people are kind of up in arms about this, about the whole movie not coming out until, as you can see there, October 13th. But I'm gonna remain hopeful for it. And you know, we've had Exorcist house before. And I believe I'm gonna.
You mean the bedroom
sheets,
house.
What else are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Please let me know.
Yeah.
I think we talked before. The interesting thing with this house is I have a feeling they're not going to give away the ending of the movie in the house.
Well, yeah. They want you to go see it. That's the whole point of this.
they're gonna keep you in the bedroom.
Barry's gonna walk into another bedroom and go, no.
No, I mean at least this you know, based on the incredibly terrifying trailer we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I mean it's definitely interesting and definitely I think it's going to make a pretty interesting house, or it's definitely going to be a short girl house. So
yeah, I was actually reading up on the movie, and I didn't know that this was originally supposed to be a reboot.
Yeah.
This was not a sequel. This was originally supposed to be because Blumhouse is doing this, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how we're keeping our Blumhouse contract alive.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't know that this was originally supposed to be a reboot and not a sequel. I'm kind of glad they went with the sequel route. Because Exorcist is one of those movies that doesn't need to be touched. It's a classic. Any other thoughts on Exorcist? We can kind of leave this one.
As long as
Janine?
they play the theme song, I don't care.
I mean, as long as they play the theme song. I mean,
You can do whatever you want.
you can ask my friends. I've gone to like demonic Exorcist movies and have laughed. So I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of little giggles throughout the house, but I'm excited for Short Girl Supremacy.
Just gonna smell. Yali Pop says it's just gonna smell like puke and laundry detergent. Yep. That's on brand for an Exorcist house.
Soup.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think anybody else has commented on this house. So this person just said, I'm hopeful for the Exorcist house. It's been interesting to see go through a house before the movie comes out in the past, then see how my perception changes after seeing the movie. Yeah, that's kind of a good way of looking at it. You know, it's interesting to go through
promotion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's promotion, and that's a good positive way of looking at it. You know, you can go through the house, and then you can see the movie and kind of do a flip flop, because you know a lot of these big IP houses, you know, we've seen the movie, we've seen the TV shows, we've seen the content that the house is based on, so we already have that sense of how to base it. So yeah, that's a good point. Thanks, Steve, for the comment. Appreciate it. So all right. Moving on, Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. I have to say, this house, I went back and I kind of read the description a little bit better to kind of understand the kind of backstage setting that this house is going to be, and I'm actually really excited for this house. I don't know how you guys are.
This is Aaron's house. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And another one for the shorties. I watched Child's Play on, I think it was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I got more excited because I forgot how much I like the little dude. So
Yeah.
He's just a little guy.
He's just a little baby.
Well, the good thing is that this is this going to be
It's
this
supposed
is going to be
like,
sort of based on the show, right?
It's supposed to
TV
be
show.
like the TV show and the movie. It doesn't
Yeah.
really make sense. It's just a little
I
guy.
mean, the TV show is a continuation of the movies. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean the concept that like Chucky isn't happy that his haunted house isn't actually killing people,
Yeah.
and just with the potential of like a scare actor joining in line, and then they're getting yanked off and killed. If
Wow,
they-
we love the
if-
Purge house.
Yeah, so it's
Literally what happened.
I mean it's definitely going to be I'm sure this house is also going to lean into the comedy, which is basically Chucky is sort of horror comedy.
I just wanted to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And this is in the Fast and Furious queue location, right?
Yeah.
Based on the map.
Correct.
The best thing at that location.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's where we become a family, and then Chucky rips our family apart.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched the Chucky show, so the fact that they're going with like this whole like backstage thing, Chucky goes crazy and starts
I don't
killing.
really think you need to watch the show in order to understand.
Yeah,
this,
yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at, because
from
when
what
it
I've
was
heard.
when it was officially announced the second time, I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to watch. I want to watch this show. I've heard the TV show
It's
is
very
actually
good.
really good. Yeah,
It's
Very
very good.
I've
I
heard
can
it's
send
really
you a
good.
recap video.
Yeah,
I got you.
It's worth watching just for watching Jennifer Tilly chew scenery
Mhm.
Yeah.
throughout the entire series so far. And I'm going to be interested to see if the other characters show up, if Glenn, Glenda, and Tiffany, and maybe even Jennifer Tilly show up in this house.
that would be pretty awesome. So, but yeah, Chucky Ultimate Kill Count, and like we said, this house will be over in the Fast and Furious area that they. Last year was the first year they did that house, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
supercharged extended
Yes.
queue, unused queue house.
Yeah, because they
Whatever.
previously did it back in the day when it was earthquake, disaster, all that jazz. But this was the first time that they used it with this purpose.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember back when they did the old earthquake houses.
Oh yeah.
That's throwing it way back there, Janine.
Oh, it's aging me.
Yeah, me too. Because I remember. Yeah, exactly.
Run, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So, yep.
Leave it to Cleaver.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. So, all right, moving on. Stranger Things season 4. I actually had a few people. I've had team members texting me mainly about Dueling Dragons, which we'll get to later. But a few people texted me about Stranger Things, and they said it's much better than the 2-3 house, which is all I care about.
Cool.
Eddie
I would
Supremacy.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
But yeah, Stranger Things season 4, Vecna. Like I think we pretty much discussed this house during our initial our initial reaction stream of the announcement of it, in saying that this house is this season is perfect for a haunted house with
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
all
yeah.
the upside down.
It literally
and-
has a haunted house
It does.
in the show.
yeah. So, Janine, Emily, anything you want to comment? Anything you got to say about Stranger Things?
I know things, and I'm very excited to see the things.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know my feelings about Stranger Things. Clint and I both have Stranger Things tattooed on us, so
Yep.
I mean, it's gonna be a good time. I'm just trying to decide if I'm gonna wear which of my Stranger Things backpacks to opening night. So.
The tough decisions.
I guess one of the questions is whether or not they're getting Master of Puppets.
That's been a big
Ooh, that's-
discussion. The
That's
song,
been a
yeah.
big discussion. Not even just whether they're getting it, but how they're even allowed to use it in the house.
Yep.
I've heard a lot of interesting discussions around that.
Back in the comments here, Downis, I can't read their name. Downisar says, I'm excited to see how they do the Chucky puppet. Or otherwise, other than that, I'm skeptical of this house being a solid meh. I'm very interested to see how they do the scene guitar emoji.
That's the big question.
Yep. Steve says, I am so excited to see how the Stranger Thing 4 house compares to the Stranger Things experience. Yeah, we've had some friends do the Stranger Things experience in Atlanta. That was so cool, and I think HHN may top it. Yeah. So thank you guys again for the comments. We appreciate you guys being super chatty tonight. But yeah, Stranger Things season 4. I'm excited for it. As Janine said, we both got our. Where's my tattoo? There it is.
You only have one. How could you lose
I got
it?
all.
Where's
I've
my
been-
tattoo? The one.
I've been
I have?
debating on something for this arm to match this.
Do it.
but
Peer pressure. Get a Demigorgon.
Demogorgon, yeah.
Like me.
I don't know if I could. You see, I liked Eddie's bats because
You know
they
he's
were
going to get
vague.
a Halo tattoo.
Yeah.
No. I love Halo, but no. Unless I could find something so vague and something so obscure, you'd have no idea it's Halo. But anyways, no. I promise you, I will never get a Halo tattoo. So, all right, moving on to Emily's shining moment here.
My babies.
The Last of Us.
Babies.
This
Clearly,
ti-
nobody's excited for this house at all.
Yeah. This house is located in the new parade building.
As she should
And
be.
yeah, so they have a lot of real estate to work with.
It will be big.
It'll be big. Emily, is there anything that you didn't mention on our initial stream about this house that you've thought about, that you've pondered about the Last of Us house?
I mean, it's Pittsburgh, and I could go on all day about the game, but probably not many people have played the game, so
Yeah.
I would just bore everybody to death. But I have my few key scenes that I want to see. I want to see my big boy, my bloater.
Bloater, yep.
Obviously clickers, obviously infected. I want Ellie to at least have one trigger where she swears. That's all I want. And I want to find Easter eggs.
And we did get confirmation that I don't know their names off the top of my head. The voice actors for
Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson.
Yeah, Ashley,
Yeah.
Fritzl, and Ellie.
yeah, they did record sound for
Yeah.
this house, which
So
is
cool.
which is really cool. So the fact that we got the actual voice actors from the game for the house,
I'm
because
tired of getting triggers where it's like, that's not it, but okay.
I mean, this entire house could just be dark corridors with sounds of clickers, and it would scare the
And I'd be
crap out of it.
I would
You're
love
not wrong.
I mean, I had, like you said, I heard.
Scared. I'm gonna go. My children.
the Hill
I mean,
House hallway, and then just a clicker,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
hanging out.
Fine.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we get some of the set pieces from that section of the game, the ambush, and
I just wanted to
We could
start with
definitely
the car
have-
crash into the gas station. That's all I'm asking for.
we definitely have one hell of a finale on the way out
Big
out
boy.
of that house.
yeah, Lollipop says, I feel this house is going to be scary. The suspense of the game alone. Yeah, the suspense of the game alone is insane. Yeah, that's the thing. Like when you're playing The Last of Us, if you don't have like absolutely like sweaty palms from
Yeah.
you hiding behind a cabinet with clickers doing their noise.
I
Solid
get it.
impression.
See, I don't get affected by the clickers. I get affected by the runners, which are the silent ones that just like sneak up on you. And I kind of hope they have those in the house, but I may be asking for too much.
Yeah.
The Hill House hallway is my villain origin story.
That
Yeah.
thing made me so happy every time.
Alex
Yeah.
says, I bet they spent the most time making this house. I'm excited.
My favorite thing about the Hill House hallway was me looking up the first time going, why is she on the ceiling? And then just walking through like an idiot.
Yeah, yeah. Playing and watching are two vastly different experiences. Yeah, it is.
What about living it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we'll be able to live it in about 2 days.
Days.
So,
Literally where I'll be opening night. You can catch
yeah.
me there. I'll just be...
One
as
of us
far
will
as-
probably be crying somewhere. You know, it's probably gonna be.
It's me washing my mushroom cup out in the sink.
I do. I do have to say, I'm a little underwhelmed with the merchandise. I've seen a long sleeve T-shirt.
I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I've been kind
They've
of
been sort of
underwhelmed
lacking on it.
with
And
The
what if
Last
it's
of Us.
licensing issues?
It could be, when they're
It is.
dealing with something like this with Sony and PlayStation, they got to get all sorts of approvals.
And I think they already would announce that there's going to be some more merchandise released throughout the event this year. So we'll be interested to see if we get any additional Last of Us
Yeah,
merchandise.
yeah. But I've seen a long sleeve T-shirt and maybe
There's a t-shirt and a long sleeve, and that's about it.
there's a T-shirt. Yeah, so I haven't seen a whole lot because, like I said earlier in the stream, like all the regular Horror Nights merchandise doesn't interest me with all the Zodiac stuff. I was like Last of Us and Dueling Dragons, which we got confirmation about the pass holder merchandise being Dueling Dragons, and the Last of Us merchandise is where I'm going to spend my most money. And I may pick up some of the Dueling Dragons stuff, but I really hope they come out with some more Last of Us merchandise. So, all right, moving on. Blood Moon Dark Offerings. This
I love
house,
pilgrims.
yeah, this house. I'm along with what's the other original with the off or
The Darkest Deal.
the Darkest Deal. I really don't know where to go with these two as far as me being excited about them because they're
I'm more
just.
excited about Blood Moon than Darkest Steel.
So am I.
I mean, I think the idea of a house that's set in the colonial American period, that's never been done. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had a Roanoke house,
Roanoke,
but that's Roanoke's pre-colonial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea of like having, a house where like people are going to be wearing basically colonial style costumes,
Yeah.
but it's horror.
Creating a body count. I love that for them.
Is just a great idea. I mean, it's one that we hope like that's the very original idea. I'm hoping it pays off. That's
Yeah.
because sometimes when they do swing for the fences with a very original idea, it doesn't always work. But
There's been originals probably every year for me that I didn't know where to kind of place it with me as far as, I don't really do hype lists anymore. I do more of like just how I am with the standalone house, how hyped I am for it. And I don't know how excited to be for these houses. They sound very interesting. So there's always an original house for me that usually really impresses me, and I have a feeling it's going to be this one, but we'll have to wait and see. So
they do a good job too with period-based houses. I mean, I know I'm always been a fan of, like, I know it's completely different. It's likely not going to be anything like the creatures, but like any of the Nightingale's houses, like those have been consistently my favorite because they were period themed. So, and I see Sarah's Dinosaur. Hi, Sarah. I know her. Saying we don't know if it's witches, werewolves, vamps, or all three. That's been like on my mind too. Of what are these creatures, or are they actually they're just colonists?
I think it says in like the breakdown of it that it's like sacrificing. So they're like the colonial people are sacrificing towards like a greater purpose type thing.
So they
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like
I listened to the
supernatural
podcast.
creature.
Yeah. And the podcast episode didn't really explain a whole lot. It just followed this one guy, and he turns, and I think, like I said, between these two, I'm a little vague on where they're going with it, which is why I'm kind of not sure where I'm going as far as how hyped I am for it. So
Also,
but,
it's hard with originals because you literally have like 2.5 to 3 minutes to tell a story.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
If it's just kill, you're just going to walk through going kill, and then you're going to walk out. So,
Yep. And then moving on to the next one, as we've been kind of chatting about also, is the Darkest Deal. This is I know Barry's is very intrigued with the concept of this. This is another one where I have no idea where they're going with this. Like,
you can just listen to Devil Went Down to Georgia. You'll be fine.
it's not Devil Went Down to Georgia. It's Crossroads.
No, it is. It
No,
definitely
Devil Went Down to Georgia is different. That's
No,
battling
it's
the
the
devil.
same.
This has
Yeah,
been
same.
signing a deal with the devil to become famous.
And wasn't the the devil in the All Hallows boutique? Was one of the posters or the design?
are you talking about the devil like that's in like the suit
Yeah,
or
it's-
something? Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one
I
that went
hope-
down to Georgia.
I
No.
hope that's the design for the devil in this, because that was a sweet looking devil.
Emily and Barry are having a
They're having a fight.
debate.
I can't wait till we exit the house and you hear bam, better name, and I'm gonna look at Barry
Yeah,
and
you're not hearing that.
I haven't seen either one of the movies, so
You're hearing
I have
blues
not
music.
either.
I'm out of this argument. So this debate, I should say.
go. I can't wait to go through with Barry.
Children, behave.
No.
Behave. But yeah, this one and Dark Moon, I don't know where to go with them. I don't know what to expect. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about them. So
They're both very original ideas.
they really are. They're really I'm not saying this in a bad way. They're far out there original ideas. It's not like a swamp theme or a generic, original. These are really, really creative, thought out originals. So I'm not saying I'm not interested. I'm interested. I just don't know what to expect. So maybe that's a good thing. So Alex said this is probably going to take place during the bluegrass era. Yeah, if you listen to the Discover Universal
Blues,
podcast,
not bluegrass.
Yeah, blues.
Oh my God, Barry, chill.
Barry's on a rampage.
This is
tonight.
Barry's villain
Jesus.
origin story.
Yeah. Barry's gonna be walking through the darkest deal, just fact checking everybody. Emily said, I stepped away for a second. I'm not sure what topic is, but I'm still on
course.
team
Yeah.
Emily.
Someone has to be.
Yeah. Yollipop says, I'm so excited to see how this Fable Crossroads kind of house does. I'm definitely interested in it. Yeah, it's a very, very interesting story. I'm just curious to see how it pans out to a haunted house. So yeah, tonight, yep, Ray says tonight is team member preview night. Yep, that's going on right now. So all right, moving on. Yeti campground kills.
That's just the big boy.
It's a
Big
Yeah.
soft little boy.
See, this is an original that we all know what to expect. But I love the fact that this is going to be like not, like the last Yeti house we got with the cold and the snow. This has got a very like Friday the 13th campground,
Yes.
as the name says.
1950s.
Yeah. So I'm big on the setting for this house. So it's more like if you again, the Discover Universal podcast, there's all sorts of really cool tidbits of information that they share. They were talking about how they continue to use the Yeti name, but it's more or less like Bigfoot this go around.
Yeah.
But they continue to use the Yeti name because people are familiar with it. It's something that, Bigfoot kind of falls under the Yeti
It
kind
could
of.
also could probably be copyrighted.
What, the word Bigfoot?
It could be.
That's a good question. I wonder if Bigfoot's
No,
copyrighted.
1950s
I'm gonna look.
campground.
This is what Google's
you're
for.
trying to get to the Ranger Tower. I mean, I hope there's at least one scare where the Ranger's going, get to the tower, then a giant Yeti arm comes and mauls him or something.
I'm
Bring
one of
back
my
the Yeti
friends-
arm.
Yeah, my friend who's never been to horror nights before, watching the Terror of the Yukon video was like on the must-watch list because I'm like, just seeing the way the Yetis do their kills, it
Yeah.
just hypes you up. It was just such a good house the last time. So
Yeah.
yeah, this could be the comedy house.
Bigfoot has been trademarked since 2004.
Bigfoot has been
Ah.
trademarked.
So that's why it's called Yeti.
Yeah.
I solved the
Yeti.
mystery.
Thank you,
Oh,
Emily.
because of the monster truck,
Mm-hmm.
probably.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Oh.
sense. I didn't think of that. Yeah. But anyways, Yeti campground kills. I'm super excited for this house. The last Yeti house was fantastic. But this one with the 50s, 60s campground kind of Friday the 13th vibe, I'm all in for. And they did say another little snippet from the podcast. They said that we will see a Bigfoot Yeti family in this house,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. So I'm curious how they pull off a full family of Yetis or
Little
Bigfoots.
Yetis killing
yeah,
people.
Maybe
yeah.
this should have been at the Fast and Furious queue, all about family.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Janine, for that. This is why we have you here.
Full of fun tonight and caffeine,
But yeah, no, Yeti campground kills, and this is a soundstage house, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
yes,
pretty much
yes.
I've been trying to mention where the houses are. I've probably missed a few. I apologize. Bigfoot and Yetis are kind of the same races. Yeah, kind of the same fall under the same kind of family. So, all right,
big
next.
boys.
Drifting Yetis.
Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. Obviously,
good.
this is the house that all of the hardcore HHN fans are particularly excited for because of Dr. Oddfellow, Jack. I don't think.
Origin of Jack.
Yeah, this is basically going to be the origin of Jack. From what I heard in the podcast episode, you're not actually going to see Jack the character. More or less, you're going to see like silhouettes of him. Apparently, they said at one point you're going to see Oddfellow killing Jack behind like a silhouette or something. So I'm very curious as to how this house is going to go. Janine, Emily, Barry, any thoughts on Oddfellow's Twisted Origins?
I just want to see Jack's little trunks that he kept, his little fun
Mhm.
children in.
Are you talking about the
I'm talking
box
about the child murder.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'll be really cool, the circus theming and everything. There really aren't bad houses that go in that tent either. So
Yeah. And this is a tent house.
Yes,
This
this
is
is
a
a tent house that would be
circus
taking,
tent. It's a circus
taking
tent.
place in a circus
Yeah.
tent.
That looks like
Write
it's
better
really fun.
content myself.
Let me see here. Alex says, "Yep, probably house of the year."
Be honest to see.
Steve says, "Yeah, actually, glad it's a tent house. Very fitting. Yep. It's a circus." So, but yeah, no, I'm excited for this house. You know, anything to kind of, as we were kind of saying earlier in the stream, to kind of expand on Oddfellow and Jack's lore. You know, that's what the Halloween Horror Nights fans go crazy over is all that stuff. So definitely excited to check this one out. So, all right, moving on. I think we are at the end. And of course, like I said for the last stream, we saved the best for last, right, Janine?
Oh, heck yeah, we did.
Just
All
Janine
the
takes
hype.
off her shirt.
All
What?
the hype.
I just
Did he
made
take
you
off my
hype.
shirt?
Yeah. You know, not to be biased, but this year is I should say this as kind of a wrap up, but I'll say it now. This year is absolutely phenomenal with so many great IPs, some really unique originals, and we're getting a haunted house based on a now defunct ride.
Oh,
Excuse me. I'm choking up. I'm getting emotional.
wipe your tears
Um,
with the shirt.
I know.
Yeah.
Where is
I
it?
should have bought the shirt.
Where
anyway.
is the shirt?
Where is it?
I'll hand it over to you guys in a minute, and I'll run out
Okay.
and I'll grab it because you guys got to
Good,
see this.
because
It's
it's
amazing.
the most
the best
disgusting thing I've ever seen, and it's so beautiful at the same time.
You did this to me.
I know I did.
You did this to me. So, but yeah, Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate. The podcast episode for this was actually really interesting, talking about the Warlocks, Blizzrock, and Pyrock. I was completely nerding out the whole time. Janine, I'm very curious. I haven't really heard what you think about this house because I know you're obviously really excited about it.
This is
about-
my moment.
I mean, I
This
feel
is-
like we had a little bit of this conversation. I literally got a tattoo based on the roller coaster. So when this came out, I definitely shed a tear. It just brings back so much nostalgia of childhood and just the whole theming with the warlocks and the dragons. And it's very much up my alley. And with it being a large soundstage house, I'm just so excited. But I agree. I am fully team fire. So
Yes, you are. Yes, correct.
I am.
Puppets.
Yep.
I hope there's giant puppets.
Lots of comments on Dueling Dragons so far. I'm so interested to see how Dueling Dragons plays through. A lot of people saying what dragon was their favorite. Ray says ice.
I'm a Pyrock girl.
Steve
Pyrock
says
girls.
Pyrock. Yep. So, all right, you guys keep it going. I'll be right back.
No, I mean, I think
Well, we
this
bullied
this
Clint, right?
this this house just I'm excited. It's, you know, alone Dueling Dragons had one of the coolest queues of any attraction Universal has done, and it'll be our see if stuff from the queue shows up in the house because we know they saved a bunch of it. So
Yeah. I feel like one of the things too that this year is doing a good job of is every year does a good job for fan service of the event and of just the resort in general. But with this and all the details of the tribute store, it's just a really solid year for doing some solid fan favors. So yeah, I'm super excited. I don't know if I want to run this one first or last to culminate the night off, but I'm just like, I'm gonna be giddy. I'm gonna be crying. So
no, and I've you know, we've seen that they've finally, I feel like since what 30 that they're finally leaning into the lore of the event. The event has its own history now. The event is the IP now.
yeah.
And it has all this lore and might as well lean into it.
It's so ugly. I love it.
It's the best shirt ever.
There it is.
There's our matching ThrillGeek shirt for the year, except for you, Barry.
Party pooper.
Yeah.
Party
I'm a
pooper.
party pooper.
But yeah, no, for those of you watching the stream, I worked on Dueling Dragons back in 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. It was a long time ago. I'm showing my age. But yeah, no, I worked I worked operations on Dueling Dragons, so obviously this house, when it was announced, had a special place in my heart, like right off the get go. You know, as I think somebody said, Barry was talking about the queue. You know, the queue of this ride was literally a haunted house in and of itself. So
Yeah.
you know, that the fact that they have that to go off of, I have friends texting me still about the Dragon's house, saying the set design is incredible. So, you know, hit my microphone.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So excited.
I'm and I don't even need the house to be scary. Like I don't even need, there could be literally no scare actors in this house and I'll probably be on cloud 9. So
I'm just excited to wear our ugly shirts.
yeah, they're here. They're here.
They're here and they're ugly.
Choose thy fate. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
There they
Can't
are.
wait to walk around the park with Clemson
Everybody was
on
like,
my
"Are these?"
chest.
Everybody was like, "Are these on the ThrillGeek T Public?" And I was like, "I can
They
make
should
that a
be.
thing if you really want."
I need one.
We
Swan.
still have the
Oh,
Throw
I
Geek
need
T
one.
Public.
Yeah, it's up there somewhere. So checking in with chat. Ray says, "I worked it when it was Dragon Challenge." Oh, that's cool. Yeah. No, I worked on Dueling Dragons before Potter came in
The
and
OG.
took everything off.
Back when it dueled.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Fire Dragon, you are clear for dispatch. Ice Dragon, you are clear for dispatch. Battle bravely.
And then when they would slow down going up the hill so they
Yep.
would be able to sync at the same time. I would
Yep.
always get so excited watching the other one come up at us.
Yep.
Good times.
You'd make like hand gestures.
Yeah.
and maybe like flick off the other train. No. Yeah, no, it was that ride when it was dueling was so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fantastic. So
So that's all the houses, isn't it?
no, there's 11 houses this year. Didn't you know that? Oh.
I'm not
we
that
gotta-
tired.
Yeah,
Stop starting rumors.
I know, right? I'm going to
Super secret 11th house.
remove this
That's what I heard.
and bring where
Food.
is food? Yeah.
Dude.
And let me actually bring it up on my screen so I can see it here.
Great.
those-
Thumbnail.
God.
Those
those two.
idiots.
Those
I
two.
love that. Love the clickbait.
This is we're gonna go over. We'll kind of do this kind of quick. I've updated our foodie guide. For those of you that don't know, you can go to thrillgeek.com/HHN foodie. I've updated it with almost everything. I need some photos of certain food booths, but it's getting there. This was the big conversation piece at this food truck up here at the front of the park, right kind of in front of the Music Plaza stage. They are going to be selling Dr. Oddfellow's Carnival Dog, which is a red hot dog in a confetti hot dog bun, Kool-Aid pickles, bubblegum mustard, and potato sticks.
No.
Not pay me enough.
No.
I will be doing that. I will
Um,
keep you guys posted.
Yeah. I think I told Barry, I was like, if this is at the media event on Friday night, I'll give it a shot.
And you won't be able to do anything after it.
But they'll also have sour apple funnel fries, which sound really good.
They
Apparently,
sound good.
yeah. Barry and I have been we've been trying to figure out what the hell this Stellar bar is, and apparently it is Stranger Things. I don't know where in
Okay.
Stranger Things it is. If anybody in the chat knows what this Stellar, but I think it was.
That's what we have Google for.
I saw somewhere post that it was. Emily says that's going to be a no for me, dog. The hot dog. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you and I were lucky enough to try a bunch of things. I mean, my favorites are the walking taco, and then the poutines, both the vegan and the regular were excellent.
Yeah, and here's a look at the Surfer
Yeah, go
Boy Stranger Things food booth in New York.
We can tell you that pizza, it's not that great. I would not pay $9.99.
Yeah,
That
Also, I
pizza.
can't find anything about Stellar Bar for Stranger Things. So
However, that chocolate
David.
cake, that Yuri's chocolate cake thing, has me interested.
yeah. I mean, the pizza was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad, but like Barry said, I think for what you pay for here, I'd much rather go to one of the other
Louis.
Yeah. Or go to one of the other food booths.
Yeah.
As Barry was saying, the Yeti food booth will have the poutine, which we tried at the Taste of Terror event. There's a vegan burnt ends poutine.
Oh,
and
we lost Emily.
Where'd Emily go?
Oh, hopefully she comes back.
So what are you excited for, Janine, as far as the food?
Did you kind of go over the food, Janine?
Yeah, I'm excited. So Emily and I have had this recurring joke about the Fedra cups with the ravioli, and just buying ravioli every night so that we collect the cups. I do have to say, I'm excited to see the number of non-alcoholic options, or that there are drinks that have been derived that are able to be made non-alcoholic. I do drink when I go to the event, but for people who don't, I think it's a great option. I always am happy about a twisted tater. But yeah,
Emily said the wind knocked out her internet, so hopefully she might be back here. So sorry, Janine, didn't mean to.
No, you're good.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I would probably say that I'm excited about anything from the Last of Us booths that I've seen, but I need to do a little bit more digging into the food, because I typically go to HHN and I'll grab one thing and I just start marathoning houses, and I need to do a better job of actually going and eating. But I do have to say the stands look impeccable.
Yeah.
The theming is phenomenal. It's probably one of the best years for theming. So it'll be cool to see what all of them take out. It is interesting, though, as we scroll past this, that Mel's won't be open this year, but Minion Cafe will be. So that's
where will the teenagers go?
Right? Where will they go?
And I've never understood why they go to Mel's. It's like, do you guys miss the school cafeteria, or or you guys miss crappy food? I don't know. It's you can get the same crappy burger over at Richter's.
You can.
So.
That peanut butter burger was actually pretty good. It's a burger with peanut sauce, raspberry jelly, cheddar cheese, shaved onions, jalapeno bacon, and cherry peppers on a vampire bun. That was actually pretty decent.
I can't believe how much they're charging for it, but it's I hope it's bigger than the one we had at the media event.
I didn't put the price on there.
I think that one's like 13.
I would say it's like 13, 14, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then new this year, these food booths are located over by Animal Actors stage area, because of all the DreamWorks Land construction. It's kind of cramped quarters over there.
Yeah.
And they are going to have an entrance to the house over there, right? Monsters.
Yeah, that's where Monsters goes.
Monsters, yeah.
And then the Last of Us, where like the other parade building queue normally is, that's over by where the tent houses and MIB is.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the Day of the Dead food booth will be back. This is where you can get the walking taco, which is actually really good. I find myself probably getting that a couple times this year at the event. Yeah, they're also doing a vegan walking taco for those of you that.
Yeah, the vegan walking taco was really good.
Yeah, that was the one we had at the event, right?
Yeah.
That's it for I believe so. Like I said, I've been updating this rigorously, trying to get everything in here. I have a section for those of you guys that are going to check out our foodie guide. Down at the bottom, there's a sweet treats section that lists the Halloween Horror Nights specific treats you can get at Today Cafe, San Francisco Pastry, Croissant Moon. Toothsome is doing a fortune teller milkshake, which is vanilla ice cream with a chocolate tarot card, apple pie, dulce de leche, cinnamon, and bat sprinkles, candy crystals, and whipped topping.
That's an interesting mix.
Yeah. And then I was confused on the actual Universal Orlando website. They had a couple different sections for Voodoo Donuts.
Yeah, it was sort of weird.
It was displayed weird. So I put all 4 donuts down there. I don't know if all 4 donuts are going to be there, but there's a Voodoo Ghost donut, a Dashing Pumpkin donut at Chucky, and a Cauldron donut. So I'm going to have to see if I can get verification on.
It still blows my mind that they've never, and I don't know if it's a thing with Voodoo, why there isn't a Voodoo Donut booth.
Yeah.
In the park.
Yeah, they could set up a Voodoo Donut HHN booth.
I would think make a ton of money.
Yeah, at the park. And then I have all the restaurants that'll be open, and I think it was Janine or one of you guys mentioned that Minion Cafe will be
Yes.
open.
Yep.
That's what matters.
We'll be
Get
able to
Minion
get
Pop.
some.
It's like, I understand the reasons for the food booths, and they definitely come up with some interesting things. But it's like, if it comes down to it, I probably would rather go to Minion Cafe
Yeah,
and spend my money there,
and get something really good.
Get more bang for your buck.
Get a meal.
That's
Yeah.
been my biggest issue with the food. The pricing of the food booths
The
at
pricing is
HHN
high.
is just. I mean, people complain about the pricing at Disney. Yeah, the pricing of the HHN food booths is a little high for what you get, especially what the fried Oreos are now. What,
They're like
$7.49
Yeah.
this year? That's just that's nuts.
Yeah. And then also new this year is the Peacock Halloween Horror Bar, which we saw the signage up for that. They're gonna have a couple of snacks there, some stuffed pretzels, it looks like. And I have the drink menu up for that. I'm not gonna go through everything. The Revenge of the Dead Coconut Club and City Walk, I have the drink menu up for that. And that's about it as far as our foodie guide goes. As I said, you guys can go to thrillgeek.com/HHNfoodie and check that out. Like I said, I have a few more. I got to get a few more photos of a few more food booths. But for the most part, it is pretty much said and done with the food menus. And I need to figure out that Voodoo Donut thing, because that was kind of confusing with all that.
Yeah, and it's
stuff,
interesting
so.
they didn't list the snacks that are in the tribute store either, because they're everything that's in the tribute store is totally different than any of the other treats that are available, like Today Cafe or San Francisco.
Yeah, I'll see if I can, because they usually have a menu inside the tribute store of the desserts you can get in there. So if I remember, I'll get a picture of it and I will add it to the foodie guide so you guys can kind of check out. Michael says, I agree with Barry. A Voodoo Donuts booth for Halloween Horror Nights would be awesome. Yali Pop says Pizza Fry Supremacy. Yeah, Pizza Fries will be back at the Kid Zone. I wonder if they're going to change the name of Kid Zone Pizza, because Kid Zone is no longer a thing. Are they going to change it to DreamWorks Pizza, or
who knows?
But no, Pizza Fries will be back at Kid Zone Pizza. I believe the vegan ones will be back, and the sweet potato ones.
Yeah, they're all back. All three are back.
Yep. So those will all be back as well. So, anyways, I think that's it as far as comments goes. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. You guys are awesome tonight. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. I don't know what Emily said. The wind, I guess.
Yeah, it's still out, she said.
Yeah. So, but I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Get on out of here. Again, I appreciate everybody dropping in. For our hype stream, we got under 2 days to go. So, obviously look for all of our Halloween Horror Nights content. I said on our last construction video, that's our last construction video. That will not be our final Halloween Horror Nights video. We have a lot more of those coming. Oh, there she is. She made it back.
Yay!
Let's see if
Just
she's
in
there.
time to say goodbye.
There she is.
The hurricane said absolutely not.
Well, we were just kind of chit chatting about the food. So, is there anything in particular food wise, Emily, that you're excited about before we get on out of here?
Besides the mushroom ravioli sloshing around in the sink, probably the Korean corn dog or the apple fries.
Yeah, the apple fries at the Oddfellow booth.
I don't know how I feel about the sour, but we'll see.
How about Dr. Oddfellow's hot dog with the bubble gum mustard and whatever else is on?
I hate myself.
Oh gosh. So, but yeah, we're gonna wrap it up and get on out of here. I think that pretty much covers it. I can't think of anything else. If you guys have anything else that we missed or wanted to touch on,
Just gotta
before
see it
we,
in person.
yeah, we got a couple more days. So,
Yeah.
again, yeah, your local Fury says apple fries. Yeah, those actually sound really good. So again, I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Janine, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks
we'll have
for
to
having me. It was fun.
maybe we'll next week,
Come back
depending
soon,
on
bestie.
yeah,
Bestie.
maybe we'll have you back for our initial reaction stream where we kind of go over our initial reactions to everything. So
We're all just gonna be in a dark corner at Horror Nights anyway.
We're gonna be crying.
So, all right, Barry, go ahead and get us on out of here. Tell everybody where they can follow you and where they can follow ThrillGeek.
Well, Emily, where can everyone follow you?
I'm not using social media anymore.
Yes. You can follow
Follow
Geek Notice. She won't be there.
I won't be there.
You can follow her. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you can follow me. You can look at all the old things I used to say, which are probably damning.
Where can they follow you, Janine?
Janine, anything you want to plug, shout out, anything?
No, this was really fun. See you guys in the fog. If you see me crying, I'm actually fine. But you can follow me on Twitter, or X. Sorry, it's X now. It's a lot of memes.
We don't call it that.
It's a lot of memes and really stupid stuff. So.
And what's your Twitter? Your Twitter handle's your name, right?
It's my name with an underscore because the other one was taken because apparently I have a common name in Germany.
So yeah, Barry, go ahead.
And I'm at Culture and Thrills on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok,
have a YouTube
Threads, Blue Sky,
all of the things,
all of the above. And we are at ThrillGeek on Twitter, Instagram, X, whatever you want to call it, Threads, TikTok. We're also on Blue Sky.
I don't even know what that is.
We're everywhere. Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page. YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we are going to have more and more and more and more Halloween Horror Nights videos coming in the next couple of weeks. ThrillGeek.com for the latest in theme park and pop culture news. And you can continue the conversation on our Discord channel.
If you want, like, you don't have to.
Yeah. And you've been watching ThrillGeek this week.
Yeah, as far as, like I said, our next stream will obviously be our initial reaction kind of not really review stream. So we'll have to figure out a time and date next week. Wednesday, Thursday, we kind of bounce between those 2 days. So as Barry said, make sure you guys are following us on all of our social media channels. I'll put a date out there so you guys can come back and check out our. Let me bring the comments back up here. Amy, see you in the fog. Yes. Yollipop, see you in the fog. Steve, see you guys in the fog. Thank you so much again, everybody. I appreciate everybody that was in the chat. I'm not going to go through and name everybody because we actually had a pretty good chat tonight. So I really, really appreciate all of you chatting on our YouTube channel. For those of you that are watching the stream, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz. It helps us out, helps the channel grow, all that stuff. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, IMCG83 if you want to do so there. But make sure you're following ThrillGeek everywhere because that's where my heart and soul goes into is on there, not my personal social media. So, so anyways, Janine, thank you for hanging out with us. Emily, thank you. Appreciate you. Barry, thank you. So yeah, look for our time and date next week for our HHN reaction stream. I shouldn't say reaction because that's our this one stream. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week, probably Wednesday or Thursday at some point. And we'll give you our first impressions of Halloween Horror Nights 2023. So take care, be safe, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
See you in the fog.
You can't actually really see anybody through the fog.
Very spoopy.
We'll have to do a study.
See everybody in the humidity thickness.
Fingers crossed.
Stickiness.
No rain.
Oh gosh. All right. We'll see you guys.
Bye.